Hi everyone, today we are here to know everything we need to know about the tax return. Who has to lodge it, when we have to do it, what are the exceptions depending on your visa, and to do that we are going to speak with an expert. So here he comes. Here we are with Sebastián, our tax expert, and he's going to help us to resolve all our doubts. How are you today?
Yeah, good, thanks, Deborah. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. So let's go with the first question. What's the tax return?
Okay, basically tax return is a tax declaration. You know, it's a report that you have to send to the Australian Taxation Office reporting the income that you earned during the financial year.
Okay, cool. What's the time frame to lodge our tax return?
Okay, so, first of all, the financial year in Australia goes from the 1st of July, in this case 2018, till the 30th of June of the following year, so 2019. So after the 30th of June, so from the 1st of July, the person or the people that are going to lodge the tax return on their own, by themselves, they're going to have until the 31st of October to do so. But if they're using the services of a registered tax agent and they don't have overdue tax returns, they're going to have until the 15th of May of the following year, in this case 2020, to lodge a tax return.
Okay, that's cool. So if I am using a tax agent, for instance, like in your company, I might have more time.
Exactly.
To
And if you don't have any overdue tax returns,
Okay.
so if you've lodged all your tax returns on time in prior years.
That's useful information. Next question. Who needs to lodge the tax return?
So basically, if you're gonna be in Australia, you've been in Australia for over 6 months, and if in this case you are on a student visa, you're gonna be considered an Australian resident for tax purposes, and you are required to lodge a tax return.
What are the tax rates that apply for each different visa?
Okay, so as I said, if you're considered an Australian resident for tax purposes and you're on a student visa, basically the first $18,200 you earn are going to be tax-free. From $18,201 up to $37,000, you have to pay 19% tax. Then from $37,001 up to $87,000, you pay 32.5%. And from $87,001 up to $180,000, pay 37%. And if you earn more than $180,000, you're required to pay 45%. That's the highest tax rate in Australia.
Okay.
But if you are on a working holiday visa, from the first dollar you earn, you pay 15% up to $37,000. So it's slightly different.
Okay. What's the difference between working for tax purposes, working with tax file number or working with ABN?
So basically, if you, or what is called working with tax file numbers, when you work as an employee.
Yes.
Okay, so when you work as an employee, there's like minimum tax or minimum hourly rates that apply, and usually your employees must withhold tax from your pay. Okay, so from the gross amount that they're meant to be paid for wages and salaries, your employer is required to withhold a percentage of that, and that is going to go towards paying the tax that you have to pay at the end.
Okay.
Considering your total income, or what is called assessable income. It's not total income. The technical concept is assessable income. Okay, so basically, and when you work on or with an ABN, that's how most of the people call it, is when you work as a contractor or a subcontractor. So in that case, no one is not required for the person that is paying you to withhold taxes from your pay if you're providing your ABN, and you are required to put aside a percentage of what you receive to pay the taxes when you do your tax or when you lodge your tax return. So no one is withholding taxes from your pay.
Just a case that comes to my mind: if I am making between 0 and 18,200, working with tax file number as an employee, then I should get all my money which was withheld back.
Yeah. So in that case, if you were on a student visa, you stay or you are going to be in Australia for more than 183 days, so for more than 6 months, and taxes were withheld from your pay, and your total income was less than $80,200, all the money that was withheld are gonna be refunded to you when you do your tax return.
Okay. Another very common question that students ask me is, if I work with tax file number and ABN, do I have to lodge two different declarations?
No, if you work as with your ABN sole trader, you know, it's just you, all that income is declared on the same tax return.
Okay.
You don't have to lodge a separate tax return.
Okay.
Okay?
What happens, Sebastián, if I go to my country, go back to my country, or if even I stay here longer and I just don't care about the tax declaration, I don't lodge it?
If you don't do your tax return. So basically, it is fines that might apply if you don't lodge your tax return on time. Sometimes the ATO doesn't apply the fines straight away, you know, because, I mean, they are very fair and they acknowledge that there might be circumstances that or reasons why you can't lodge your tax return on time, but there's always in the law there's penalties that apply if you don't lodge your tax return.
It's possible that some people who are watching this video now are going to leave the country before the financial year starts, before the 1st of July. In that case, how do you lodge your tax return?
So basically, if you're gonna leave the country, Australia, permanently before the end of the financial year, there's something that is called an early tax assessment. So it's a tax return that you can lodge in the situation that you live in the country before the end of the financial year. So basically, it's the process a little bit different because it's done by paper. So you have to fill out the early tax assessment form, send it by post, and the ATO is going to process that tax return manually, and it's going to take between 4 to 6 weeks to be processed. Okay. But let's say in this example that you live in the country in December, but the financial year obviously ends in like on the 30th of June and after that December. In that case, it's worth lodging a tax return because you don't have to wait. If there's taxes that are going to be refunded to you, you don't have to wait until after the 30th of June to receive that refund. Okay. You can receive it beforehand.
Oh, so it's even possible that I get my money back while I am in Australia?
No. It's when you live in the country, so you have to be outside Australia.
All right.
To be able to lodge the tax return.
Okay. So in that case, would you recommend to leave your account open? Yeah,
definitely. It's much easier if you're gonna lodge that tax return and your Australian bank account is open, and the ATO can deposit that money into that bank account. So you can receive the money into that bank account, and you can withdraw that money by using your ATM card anywhere in the world. So it's pretty easy.
Okay, cool. And the last question, how can I do my tax return?
Okay, basically you have two options. First option, you can do the tax return by yourself by using one of the services of the Australian Taxation Office. You can drop by to one of the MyGov shops and get assistance by one of the volunteers that serve there, and they want to help you to do your tax return. Or you can use the online service. The other option is using the services of a registered tax agent like YNS Accounting. So basically, we can assist you with the whole process of reporting and lodging your tax return. Either if you come to our office, or you can use one of our either over the phone or online services.
Okay, that's pretty good.
So it's pretty straightforward.
I think that's everything. Thank you so much for all the information. I think we all solved lots of the questions we had in mind.
Awesome.
I'll see you in the next financial year.
Awesome, yeah.
I hope this video was really useful for you. So if you have any other question, do not hesitate to contact our tax expert in this webpage. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give it a like and share it with your friends if it was useful. Bye bye.